Time, it's the one thing we all get equally 24 hours in a day. No matter who you are, where you come from, or what dreams you chase, you're handed the same blank slate every morning. But here's the truth. What you do with those 24 hours defines everything. You see, I didn't build my career on luck or just talent. I built it minute by minute on late nights, early flights, endless auditions, and the constant choice to show up, even when it was hard. Time management isn't just about calendars and planners, it's about clarity, courage, and commitment. In a world that pulls you in every direction, mastering your day is an act of power. It's not about doing everything, it's about doing the right things with fierce intention. You don't need more hours, you need more ownership over them. So if you've ever felt like you're drowning in your to-do list, if you've ever wondered how some people achieve so much while you're just trying to keep up, it's not magic, it's mindset, it's mastery. And today, I'm going to show you how to own every minute like your life depends on it, because it does. This is your time. Let's master it. Start your day with fierce intention. That's the first step to mastering your 24 hours. You see, the way you begin your morning sets the tone for everything that follows. It's like the opening scene of a film. If it's weak, the audience loses interest. But when it's powerful, when it commands attention, the rest of the story is already halfway to victory. You have to wake up with clarity, not chaos. Most people roll out of bed and immediately reach for their phones, letting the world set their priorities. But if you let notifications decide how your day starts, you've already surrendered control. You're reacting, not leading. And a woman who wants to conquer time has no business playing defense. The first thing you need is a reason. Something that fires you up before the world even opens its eyes. This isn't about some Pinterest perfect morning routine. It's about being awake before you even get out of bed. Ask yourself, why does today matter? What's the one thing I'll be proud of accomplishing by sunset? That question alone, asked daily, creates intention. It creates direction. And when you move with direction, you don't waste energy wondering what to do. You just do asterisk. You have to get into the habit of owning your morning, not letting it own you. That might mean waking up earlier than you're used to. It might mean writing down your top priorities before you even brush your teeth. But that intentional pause at the beginning of your day is where your power lies. Even 10 minutes of focus can change the next 14 hours. Those who say they don't have time to plan their day are the same people who waste hours trying to figure it out later. Planning isn't a luxury, it's survival. Especially if you want to thrive in a world that moves faster than ever. When I was hustling between sets, scripts, and red carpets, I didn't have the luxury of waiting for motivation. I had to create my momentum. And that came from making sure my first thoughts weren't about what others wanted from me, but what I wanted from myself. I had to decide every morning, do I run this day or does it run me? That question became a ritual. And that ritual became a discipline. Fierce intention doesn't mean being rigid or robotic. It means being present. It means knowing that your time is too valuable to drift through. It means being selective about what earns your attention. And it means refusing to let your mornings become someone else's dumping ground. Emails can wait, gossip can wait, but your focus, your dreams, they cannot wait another day. You have to move like your goals are watching, because they are. One of the most things you can do every morning is guard your thoughts. What you tell yourself in those early hours becomes your inner compass. If you begin the day thinking you're behind, that energy will chase you for hours. But if you wake up and speak power over yourself, if you decide to believe that you are capable, worthy, and prepared, then the minutes will obey you. You'll be surprised how time stretches for the woman who walks in purpose. The truth is, no one is born great at time management. It's a skill, a muscle, and just like in the gym, results don't show up until you show up consistently. Start by mastering your first hour. Make it sacred. Make it focused, make it yours, because when you begin each day with fierce intention, you don't just manage time, you command it, and that's how you rise. That's how you build an extraordinary life, one powerful morning at a time. Protect your energy like a queen guards her crown. That's not just a cute metaphor, it's a survival strategy. In a world that constantly demands more from you, distracts you, pulls you in every direction. Your energy is your most sacred resource. You can have a perfect planner, a detailed to-do list, and the best time management system in the world. But if your energy is leaking, you will burn out before you ever reach your goals. Time management without energy protection is just an illusion of productivity. You're busy, but you're not effective. You're moving, but not progressing. You're tired, but not fulfilled. Every queen knows this. Your crown symbolizes your value, your power, and your vision. You don't just let anyone touch it. The same way, you don't let just anyone access your time, your mind, or your emotions. You have to be deliberate about where your energy goes and who gets to share space with it. That means learning to spot energy vampires, those people, habits, or even thoughts that drain you without giving anything back. They might not be malicious. They might even be people you love. But if they constantly leave you depleted, you have to ask yourself, is this how a woman with a purpose protects her light? Protecting your energy also means guarding your schedule. Not every event is mandatory. Not every phone call needs answering. Not every social obligation deserves a yes. One of the most empowering things you can do is pause before you commit. Ask yourself, will this nourish me or drain me? That one question can save you hours, even days of emotional fatigue. You're not being rude by saying no. You're being wise. You're recognizing that your energy is a currency, and you don't spend it where it doesn't multiply. Now, let's talk about the emotional side. Protecting your energy also means being mindful of what you consume. What you read, what you watch, who you follow. These are all inputs that either lift you up or weigh you down. If your mornings begin with scrolling through drama, bad news, or social media comparison, don't be surprised when you feel anxious or unmotivated by noon. You've handed your emotional state over to the world before you've even owned it for yourself. Reclaim it. Choose content that inspires you. Surround yourself with voices that believe in your brilliance. You don't owe the world your peace just to stay informed or entertained. Even your inner dialogue matters. Sometimes the person draining your energy most isn't out there. It's inside your own head. That voice that says you're not doing enough, not fast enough, not good enough. It's a liar. You need to talk back to it. You need to become your own biggest supporter, not your worst critic. Because confidence doesn't come from doing more. It comes from knowing that your energy is enough when it's focused, protected, and honored. Physical energy is important too. If you're not sleeping well, eating right, or moving your body, you're setting yourself up for failure. Time management isn't about stuffing more into your day, it's about showing up fully for the things that matter. And you can't show up fully if you're running on fumes. Don't wait for burnout to remind you to rest. Make rest part of your routine. Treat sleep, movement, and nourishment like non-negotiables, because they are. There will always be things outside your control, emergencies, setbacks, unexpected demands. But what you can always control is how you respond. When your energy is high, when your spirit is centered, you can handle anything with grace. That's the difference between chaos and command. Protecting your energy isn't about building walls. It's about building strength. It's about creating boundaries so your light can shine brighter, not dimmer. Because when your energy is protected, your time becomes powerful. And when your time becomes powerful, you don't just survive the day, you dominate it. Like a queen with her crown, untouchable, focused, and unstoppable. Turn distractions into discipline. That's not just a productivity hack, it's a mindset shift that can change your entire life. We live in an era where distractions are not occasional, they're constant. Notifications, social media, emails, text messages, endless tabs open both in your browser and in your brain. The modern world is designed to steal your focus. But here's the truth. If you don't command your attention, someone else will. And when you allow distractions to run your day, you're handing over your power minute by minute, second by second. Discipline doesn't mean living like a robot or eliminating all fun. It means deciding what matters most and being loyal to that decision even when it's hard. It means saying to yourself, I control what I give my time to. It means recognizing that focus is freedom. You can't build your dreams while being a slave to distractions. Every time you stop to check a message, scroll your feed, or jump to a non-urgent task, you're teaching your brain to seek interruption, and what you practice becomes your habit. So, if you're always reacting, your life will always feel out of control. But when you practice discipline, even in small ways, you start building a foundation of purpose. It begins by identifying your biggest distractions. Be honest. Is it your phone, the need to multitask? Trying to please everyone who asks for your time? Discipline starts when you call it out. When you say, "This is where I lose my time, and I'm not okay with that anymore." That self-awareness is the first step. You can't change what you won't confront. Once you see the patterns, you can start replacing them. Now, this is where it gets powerful. Don't just try to remove the distraction *, replace it with discipline. Every time you feel the urge to scroll mindlessly, choose a habit that supports your goal instead. Read one page of a book, write down one idea, do 10 jumping jacks, send that email you've been avoiding. It's not about perfection, it's about momentum. Tiny acts of discipline, repeated daily, turn into unstoppable focus over time. And here's something we don't talk about enough. Discipline is a form of self-respect. When you keep your promises to yourself, even in private, you build trust within. You start to believe in your own ability to follow through. That confidence becomes your edge because the person who is disciplined doesn't need external motivation. They become their own fuel source. They don't wait to feel ready. They act in alignment with their vision. And that makes them unstoppable. But make no mistake, this is not easy. There will be days when the distractions feel louder than your purpose. Days when discipline feels boring, hard, or lonely. That's when you remind yourself why you started. That's when you get clear on your why. Whether it's building a career, becoming healthier, starting a business, or simply living more intentionally, your why must be bigger than your excuses. When your purpose becomes louder than your distractions, discipline is no longer a punishment, it's a path. Time is precious. Every minute you give away to something that doesn't matter is a minute stolen from something that does. You can't get it back, so be ruthless in your focus. Be bold in protecting your purpose. Create environments that support your discipline. That might mean putting your phone in another room, using time, blocking tools, saying no to events that don't serve you, or even setting clear boundaries with people who drain you. Discipline thrives in structure. And finally, celebrate your wins. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, acknowledge it. That's not ego, that's reinforcement. You're rewiring your brain to crave progress over momentary pleasure. And over time, that wiring becomes who you are, a woman who is focused, fierce, unshakable, because she turned her distractions into discipline, and her minutes into mastery. Batch, block, and slay your tasks. That's not just a cute catchphrase. It's a strategy for making sure your time actually serves you, instead of slipping away unnoticed. Most people struggle with time not because they don't have enough of it, but because they scatter it. They multitask, jump from one thing to another, and wonder why they feel burned out but accomplished nothing. Real productivity doesn't come from being busy. It comes from being focused, and the secret to focused execution. Structure, that's where batching and time blocking come in. Batching means grouping similar tasks together and doing them in one dedicated time slot. Why? Because every time you switch from one type of task to another, you lose mental momentum. There's a thing called context switching. It's when your brain has to shift gears from, say, writing an email to taking a call to checking your messages. It may feel like you're being productive, but you're actually exhausting your brain. You're spinning in place, but when you batch, when you say, from 10 to 11, I'm only answering emails, or from 2 to 3, I'm only working on creative writing, you tap into deep focus, you enter flow, and in flow, you do your best work in the least amount of time. Now let's talk about time blocking. This is where you take control of your calendar like the CEO of your life. You don't just let your day happen to you. You design it. You assign tasks to specific blocks of time. That means if something is important, whether it's working on your side hustle, meditating, calling your mom, or even taking a break, you don't just hope you'll get to it. You plan for it, because if it's not on your calendar, it's not real. High performers don't rely on memory or mood. They rely on systems. Time blocking also helps you see your day with clarity. You know where your hours are going. You see gaps. You catch overload before it drowns you. And best of all, you train your brain to operate with intention. You're not checking your phone just because you're bored. You're doing what you planned. And that shift from reactive to proactive changes everything. It boosts confidence, it builds consistency, and it leads to real progress, not just motion. Slaying your tasks means once you've batched and blocked, you commit. You go into each block like it's sacred. You remove distractions. You show up on time. You work like what you're doing matters. Because it does. Whether it's a small errand or a big dream, you give it your full attention. And when the time block ends, you stop. You don't overwork, you don't spill over into the next task. That's how you create balance without guilt. You did what you said you'd do. That integrity builds self-trust, and self-trust is a superpower. This system isn't rigid, it's empowering, because once you know how to batch and block, you can make room for what matters. You can plan your workouts, your family time, your rest, and your hustle without feeling like one is stealing from the other. It gives your day rhythm. It gives your life control, and the best part, it's repeatable. Once you build it into your lifestyle, it becomes second nature. Here's the truth. Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they never had a plan. They go into their days hoping to stay focused, hoping to be productive. But hope is not a strategy. Clarity is. And when you batch your tasks, block your time, and slay your list with precision, you go from overwhelmed to unstoppable. This is how queens move. This is how goals are met. This is how minutes become milestones. Say no without guilt, yes with purpose. This one shift can transform not only your calendar, but your confidence, your peace, and your power. One of the biggest reasons people feel overwhelmed isn't because they have too much to do. It's because they've said yes to too many things that don't align with who they are or what they truly want. Saying yes when your heart says no is the fastest way to burn out, to build resentment, and to waste your most valuable resource, time. If you want to master your 24 hours, you must first master your boundaries. And that begins with understanding that every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. That something else might be your health, your creativity, your rest, your goals. So you must ask yourself, is this yes worth the cost? It's not easy to say no, especially for women. We're often conditioned to be agreeable, accommodating, always available. We're taught that saying no is rude, cold, selfish, but in reality, saying no is one of the most loving things you can do for yourself and others. Because when your yes isn't rooted in authenticity, it becomes a lie. And lies, even polite ones, take energy to maintain. But a clear, confident no, that's freedom. It frees up your time, your space, your soul. It gives you room to say yes to what actually matters. And saying no doesn't have to be harsh. You can be firm and still kind. You can decline an invitation or a request with grace and strength. Thank you for thinking of me, but I won't be able to commit to that right now. That sounds like a great opportunity, but I'm focusing on other priorities. These aren't rejections, they're reflections of self-awareness. They're signs that you respect your own limits, because if you don't protect your time, someone else will waste it for you. Now, the other half of the equation is saying yes, with purpose, not out of pressure, obligation, or fear of missing out, but because the opportunity lights something inside of you. A purposeful yes is grounded. It's not impulsive, it's not about people pleasing, it's about alignment. When you say yes to a project, a person, a challenge, it should support your values, your growth, your goals. It should feel like an investment, not a sacrifice. A powerful yes is not just about doing something, it's about becoming something. Every yes shapes your future, so don't give it away casually. It's important to pause before answering anything. Create space between the request and the response. That pause is where your wisdom lives. If someone asks you for a favor, your instinct might be to respond immediately. But train yourself to breathe. Think, ask, does this align with who I'm becoming? Does this take me closer to my goals or pull me further away? If you're unsure, the answer is probably no. If your body tightens, if you feel resentment bubbling up, that's your intuition guiding you. Listen, the more you practice this, the stronger your discernment becomes. You'll start to notice how your energy reacts to certain people, commitments, environments. Your yes will start to carry more weight because it's backed by intention. And people will start to respect your time because you respect it first. You're not available to everything anymore, and that's what makes you unstoppable. You're not spread thin, you're focused, you're not reactive. You're deliberate, you're not trying to be everything for everyone. You're becoming everything you were meant to be. So remember, you're not here to be nice, you're here to be powerful. You're here to protect your time like it's gold, because it is. Say no without guilt, say yes with purpose, and watch how your life begins to align, elevate, and expand in ways that feel true, peaceful, and beautifully intentional. End your day with reflection, not regret. That's the final, powerful step in mastering your 24 hours. It's easy to get caught in the cycle of in rushing through tasks, juggling responsibilities, and checking off boxes, without ever pausing to ask yourself if any of it actually mattered. But what's the point of managing your time if you're not living with intention? The way you close your day is just as important as how you start it, because in that final hour when the world begins to quiet down, that's when your growth begins to speak. That's when you reconnect with who you are, what you did, and how it shaped you. Most people let their days end in noise TV playing in the background, scrolling through social media, mentally racing through what still needs to be done tomorrow. But those habits rob you of closure. They keep your mind cluttered and your spirit restless. Ending your day with reflection allows you to reset. It gives you a chance to look at your day with honesty and grace. Not with judgment, but with curiosity. You ask yourself, what did I do well today? What challenged me? What drained me? What filled me up? And most importantly, did I honor what matters most to me? Reflection is where self-awareness is born. It's where you stop living on autopilot and start taking ownership. And when you get into the habit of reviewing your day, you begin to see patterns. You start to notice what's working and what's not. Maybe you'll realize that certain habits are stealing your energy. Maybe you'll recognize that you're more creative in the morning and should save admin work for later. Maybe you'll discover that the conversations you had today didn't light you up, and you'll begin to seek deeper ones tomorrow. This isn't just about tracking your productivity. It's about tuning into your purpose. Every day is a lesson, but you'll only learn it if you pause to reflect. The beauty of reflection is that it also builds gratitude. When you take a few minutes to look back, you'll find moments worth celebrating, small victories, unexpected kindness, quiet strength you didn't even realize you had. And gratitude isn't just a feel. Good exercise, it's fuel. It reminds you that even on the hard days, something went right. Even when you feel like you're not enough, you've still moved forward. That shift in perspective is what helps you sleep with peace, not pressure. It's also where you can forgive yourself, because let's be real, not every day is perfect. Sometimes you didn't follow your plan. Sometimes you snapped at someone, missed a workout, or let fear win. That's okay. Reflection isn't about beating yourself up. It's about realignment. You say to yourself, I didn't show up how I wanted to today, but tomorrow I will try again. That grace is what keeps you consistent. That honesty is what keeps you grounded. You're not aiming for perfection. You're aiming for presence. Creating a nightly reflection ritual doesn't have to be complicated. It can be 5 minutes, a few journal prompts, a quiet walk without your phone, a conversation with someone you trust, a moment of stillness before bed where you close your eyes and simply breathe. Let the noise fade, let the day settle, let your soul speak. Because that still, small voice inside of you, it knows the truth. It knows what you need to release, what you need to keep, and what you need to change. When you end your day with reflection, you sleep better. You wake up clearer, you move through life with more direction, and most importantly, you live with fewer regrets, because you're not just running through your days, you're learning from them, you're growing through them. You're mastering them one intentional night at a time. That's the secret to owning your hours. You don't just manage time, you respect it, you reflect on it, and that's how your days become meaningful, not just full. You were given 24 hours to date, just like every other human being on this planet. The difference isn't in how much time you have, it's in how you use it. And now you know, you don't need more time, you need more ownership. You need fierce intention in the morning. You need to protect your energy like it's sacred. You need to turn your distractions into discipline. You need structure that helps you batch, block, and slay your tasks. You need to say no without guilt and yes with fire in your soul. And above all, you need to end your day with reflection, not regret, because your time is your life. Every minute you waste is a piece of you you'll never get back. But every minute you master that's a brick in the empire you're building. Don't wait for the perfect season. Don't wait for motivation. You already have everything you need to take control of your 24 hours. You already have the power to move differently, think clearly, and rise with purpose. This isn't just about time management. It's about self-respect. It's about making every hour reflect your goals, your values, your greatness. So from this moment on, make a vow not to be busy, but to be intentional. Not to be reactive, but to be strategic. Not to be perfect, but to be present. You're not just here to survive the day, you're here to command it. To own every minute like your future depends on it, because it does. So go out there, stand tall, plan with fire, move with clarity, live with power. Your life is waiting, your time is now, master every minute.